discuss legal topics, and promote awareness of individual rights. This episode is shared courtesy of Power to the Proletariat. You can find the link below to visit and support his channel. In this episode, Auditor PTTP films outside a police station from a public area. An inspector and several officers approach, questioning his actions and stating concerns about him recording a vehicle. The exchange becomes tense, but PTTP remains composed, addresses their statements, and challenges their interpretation of the situation. The matter concludes with a formal follow-up and a response from the chief inspector.
Hello?
Are you doing your news piece?
Just having a look at your cars now, really. Just saw this PC was idling up there, and I figured she was going to be coming out in a second. So, yeah, just waiting for... Oh, my days. Oh, so we got an inspector, a PC?
Yeah.
PC? Inspector. So we've got 4 police officers for a man with a camera. But sorry, it's quite intimidating, isn't it, having 4 people come out?
There's private vehicles there as well as vehicles that are unmarked.
Sure, but
I'm just wondering what your purpose
but it's quite
is.
intimidating having 4 officers come out and across somebody with a camera.
You're here on police premises.
Yeah, but like 4 people.
We need to establish whether there's a security issue.
Okay.
So, do you want to talk to me about what you're here for? I've got no issue with you filming, but as I've said, there's private vehicles.
Yeah, it's not my intention to get those. If they're in the background of a shot, they're in the background of a shot. But I'm not here to. I'm not
doing a news piece. Do you want an interview? I'll talk to you if you'd like to have an interview.
Not particularly. No, just want to have a look around. That's all. Just like to look around.
I saw you obviously trying to walk around there. So I was just wondering.
You should be careful with the information that you say like that, because I wasn't trying to walk around there at all.
The opening moments are clear. 4 officers, led by an inspector, walk directly toward the auditor. They begin the interaction without a period of observation. The inspector starts by stating she has no issue with filming, then notes the presence of private vehicles in the car park. This shifts the focus of the conversation toward potential concerns. A colleague follows up by stating that she saw the auditor attempt to enter the private car park. While that statement is disputed, it becomes a key point in the discussion. The exchange develops around whether any boundaries were crossed and how intent is interpreted in such situations.
I was stood there for a good 4 minutes watching you in your vehicle, and I saw the sign saying no unauthorised access. So don't tell me that I was trying to walk places where I wasn't. Be careful with things like that.
Have you got the footage that you need?
I'm not sure yet, to be honest.
Okay, well, I'd like you to leave, because as I've said, there are private vehicles there, but you've got some footage. You've got enough. There's nothing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the footage that I was getting was actually interrupted by the PC stopping and coming out. Okay. But so I'll probably wait around to see if any more vehicles come in or out, see if I can get one on blue lights.
You shouldn't do that, because as I've said, there's private cars coming in and out. Officers don't want you recording them coming and going from duty, because that presents a potential security risk.
Well, they shouldn't drive to work then, really, should they? If they're that concerned.
You have no business to film the private areas that are off limit to the public.
I have every business to film anything that's visible from a public area.
But my point is, you shouldn't be going up there, which is what you've done.
I haven't gone past the signage where your signage is. It doesn't say the signage. The signage is the signage here saying that I can't go further than this, or is the signage there saying I can't go further than?
Twice, the inspector refers to private vehicles, suggesting this is a significant factor in the interaction. In reality, the vehicles are visible from a public location, which means filming them is not restricted. However, repeating the phrase may give the impression the auditor is in an area where access is limited. She then tells the auditor he has enough footage, which is not a legal requirement but her own assessment. The conversation then shifts to her reiterating her colleague's earlier statement that the auditor should not go further toward the car park. She has not observed him crossing any boundary and has not verified signage herself, but delivers the caution as part of the exchange. The auditor responds by explaining that the restricted area begins further ahead and maintains he has remained within the public space.
Personal vehicle is there, and I'm asking you, from me to you as a private individual, I'm not comfortable with you violating my personal space.
It's not your personal space. It's
my vehicle there, my private vehicle is there, and I'm not comfortable with you filming that.
Well, if you hadn't announced that it was your private vehicle, nobody would ever have known.
I'm telling you it is, so
no, you are
doing
now.
You to stop. Yeah,
well, I'm not going to. It's in a public area.
In which case, you'll have to be removed to prevent the breach of the peace, because you are.
How am I breaching the peace? Do you know what the threshold is for breach of the peace?
You already have enough footage, so I'm asking you to leave.
Okay.
You're creating these officers aren't able to get on with their policing duty.
I'm not stopping.
The inspector then says, my personal vehicle is there, and I'm asking you, from me to you, as a private individual, not to film it. She describes this as her personal space. In the context of the situation, this refers to a police car park that is owned by the department and visible from a public area. The auditor replies that it is not her personal space. She reiterates that she is not comfortable with her vehicle being filmed. This draws attention to the specific vehicle, which had not previously been identified. The conversation then turns to her stating that if the filming continues, the auditor may have to be moved to avoid a breach of the peace. In legal terms, a breach of the peace typically relates to preventing imminent violence or disorder, so the applicability in this context is a matter of interpretation.
I was getting on with a matter that's of concern to the community, and I've got an individual on police premises filming not only the police cars coming and going, but officers arriving for duty and leaving again. That causes me a concern.
So you're working on conjecture there, because I have specifically said that that is not my intention.
I've said to you, you're causing me a concern. So
Okay.
I'd like you to leave.
Well, you're concerned. Do you police by your feelings in this country, or do you police by what the law is?
I'd like you to leave.
Do you police by what?
I'd like you to leave.
Do you police by what the law is, or do you
Sir,
police
I'm gonna
by?
get the officers to take you away because you are not.
Am I in a public place?
There are officers having private conversations about cases in the backyard of the police station.
Well, they shouldn't
It's
be.
not-
They shouldn't be
you
having
are-
that conversation in that sort of place.
But you shouldn't be there within the scope of being able
I can
to
be.
film them.
Do you know you can film anything you can see from a public place in the UK?
Okay.
Is this a public place?
This is a public place.
There you go. So if I can
you
film
are-
it,
let me put it a different way. If you stand at the end of my driveway at home, which
Sure.
is a public place, repairable at public expense,
Sure.
and you film into my window, is that acceptable?
is this your home? Do you live here? Do you sleep here?
But these are private premises. Beyond this line here, you are filming from a.
When the auditor states again that he is in a public place, the inspector offers a comparison. If someone stood at the end of her driveway at home, which is a public space, and filmed into her window, would that be acceptable? Filming into the windows of a private residence can raise privacy concerns under certain laws, such as the Protection from Harassment Act or the Data Protection Act, depending on the circumstances. However, in this case, the location is a police station rather than a private home, and it is subject to different expectations of privacy. The auditor responds by asking whether she lives there, highlighting the difference between a residence and a workplace. She then states, "This is private premises, you are filming from public into private." While the car park is indeed private premises, areas that are lawfully visible from a public location can generally be recorded. The driveway example introduces a personal analogy, but it does not directly align with the legal context of the situation.
So
If I continue to do it repeatedly, then you could potentially take action about harassment. But at this point, I've been here once only, to come and get some footage that I want to.
Just on footage for a couple of minutes and then you can leave.
No,
please.
you don't put a time. You don't put a time limit on my rights.
I do put a time limit on you, and I'm telling you.
Do you know what
now,
Article 10 is of
you
the
are-
Human Rights Act?
You are causing me personally harassment and alarm by filming here.
Go talk to Lord Justice Bean about it. The police have a much higher threshold.
To leave and then you're going to go.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Arrest me?
Yes,
You're going to arrest me. You'll be hearing from my
absolutely.
solicitors and you'll be having a civil suit on your hands. Arrest me for what? What are you going to arrest me for?
You are causing a nuisance.
What are you going to arrest me for?
Either public nuisance or harassment.
Public nuisance.
Yeah.
So under the new legislation that came with a public. So,
And you've got your opportunity to film.
So
I'd like you to not film or certainly delete anything that has details of my personal vehicle or that of any other police officers there, and then I want you to go. All right?
you don't put a time limit on my rights.
From getting on with
No,
the
I'm exercising my rights here, and you don't put a time limit on that, Inspector. Inspector, what? Blackwell? Thank you.
No, are you all right with me? Yeah, go and do what you need to do.
Yeah, see, I'm obviously not that much of a concern because you're allowing them to go about their business, yet you're threatening to arrest me. Tyrants here at Stamford.
Before returning to the station, the inspector tells the auditor, "You've got 2 minutes, then you're going to go." The auditor declines to leave, stating he is in a lawful position to remain. She then says, "Or else you're going to be arrested for being a public nuisance." In law, public nuisance is a defined offense, historically linked to actions that endanger life, obstruct public rights, or cause significant harm to the community. Since 2022, it has been a statutory offense under Section 78 of the Police, Crime, Sentencing, and Courts Act, and it still requires substantial harm or risk to the public. Quietly filming from a public area would not typically meet that threshold, Chief Inspector John Shield later responds, stating that Inspector Blackwell was within her rights to ask what the auditor was doing. While asking questions is lawful, the interaction extended beyond that point, involving multiple claims and legal interpretations. He acknowledges that the auditor was not always on police property but suggests that filming toward police premises may cause concern. While concern can be a factor in operational decision-making, it does not override the law unless linked to reasonable suspicion of an actual offense. In this case, no such offense was identified. Shield concludes that he does not believe the inspector acted unprofessionally. Professionalism, however, is generally understood to include applying the law accurately, avoiding unsupported threats, and maintaining clear boundaries between personal views and official authority. His review found no further action necessary, which reflects his assessment of the situation. This concludes the episode. If you found this coverage informative, you can like, comment, and subscribe to support further independent content. You can also visit PTTP's channel via the link in the description.